Heading up Wrightsville Avenue, we see our destination in the distance, the township of Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. Looking north up the Intercoastal Waterway, we see Figure 8 Island, with the waterway continuing north all the way to Boston, Massachusetts. Looking back south up the ICW, we see Carolina Beach, Fort Fisher, and the mouth of the Cape Fear River. In this direction, the ICW goes all the way to Miami. Passing over the Intercoastal Waterway via the Heidi Trask drawbridge, I'm reminded of the many times I've traversed over and under this bridge. The apartment building you see at the foot of the bridge was once the site of Baby's Hospital. As a sickly kid, I spent quite a few nights there and can still remember the sound of the clanging bells whenever the bridge would raise to let passing boats through. On the opposite side of the bridge, looking over from the bridge tender's porch, we see the site of the old marina where many a fishing boat has topped off their fuel tanks before heading out to the Gulf Stream, which lies about 70 miles off the North Carolina coast. Driving up the causeway, our first stop is going to be Wrightsville Beach Park, where we rise to see the salt marshes of Harbor Island and the shores of Banks Channel. Looking southeast, we see Seapath Towers on the shore of Mott's Channel, a place where I spent many a summer day water skiing. Heading east on the causeway, we cross over the South Banks Channel Bridge, landing us where the old Newell's Beach Shop used to be, which is now a wing store. Continuing north on Lumina Avenue, we pass by two longtime landmarks, Robert's Grocery and the site of the Crest Movie Theater. I can still remember the smell of corn popping when you walked by its outdoor popcorn machine. Looking up North Lumina Avenue again, we see our next destination in the distance, which is Johnny Mercer's Fishing Pier. Many of you that have visited the beach will remember the walk up to the pier where you might have experienced the nightlife of the Palm Room, which has been an attraction to the beach since 1955 and is one of the few early surviving buildings of the area. You would also surely remember walking up from the beach to this now remodeled pier house to play a little pinball or get a hot dog and drink to cool off. Looking down the beach today, we only see a few people. In the summertime, this view would consist of hundreds of colorful beach umbrellas and maybe 1,000 or more beach goers. It's always been fun to catch the shade under the pier and to watch the waves crashing into the pilings. Here is the new concrete pier, which was completed in 2002. The original wooden pier had taken a heavy beating from Hurricanes Fran and Bertha in 1996. It is estimated the new pier can withstand winds up to 200 miles per hour, and I certainly hope we don't have to find out if this is true or not. Looks like someone has built a sandcastle with a message. I don't know if these are necessarily dark times, but they're certainly different. Now we've gone up to the northernmost point of the beach where we see Mason's Inlet and Figure 8 Island. As a little kid, my folks would take me here to beachcomb for shells and if lucky to find a sand dollar or two, or maybe even a starfish. Panning around to the west, we see a large area of salt marsh. This brings back memories of being a teenager and having Mr. Woodcock, who was a commercial fisherman, take me nighttime flounder gigging in these marshes. He had a small John boat rigged with lights that operated off car batteries to illuminate the sandy bottom of these shallow tidal creeks. We would walk along the side of the boat, pulling it forward with our spears in hand, ready to strike when we would see the oval shadow of a flounder lying on the bottom. It wouldn't take long and we'd have the bottom of the boat full of fish ready for Mr. Woodcock to take to market. Heading back south, we see a view of Wrightsville Beach Park and portions of what the daily joggers call the Loop, which is a path that is roughly 2.5 miles around the beach. Now we're at the southernmost point of the beach, looking across Shin Creek and towards the city of Wilmington. I live about 3 miles straight ahead. This view is the backside of Masonboro Island. During the summertime, as many as 100 boats could be tied up together partying and having a grand old time. Today it seems to be left for the seagulls to enjoy. It was a beautiful day, and I'm sure these boaters were enjoying their ride up the channel. This shot starts at the Coast Guard station and heads upward, revealing the entire beach looking north. Here we're panning out over the ocean as Masonboro Inlet and the jetty come into view. To the right of the screen you again see Masonboro Island. As kids we called it Fly Island, as it was home to some of the meanest biting flies on the planet. They didn't stop us from going there though, as it was a great place to surf. I'm going to end today's trip to the beach with a shot of the location where the Lumina Pavilion used to stand. What a terrible shame that developers tore it down in 1973 to make room for these condominiums. Rising above the ghost of Lumina, the drone reveals Crystal Pier, where as a youngster I spent many days and nights fishing. I don't get to the beach much these days, but I hold many fond memories of this place, and I hope you've enjoyed my little trip down memory lane. If so, please do an old man a favor and hit that subscribe button. It'll help me grow the channel and I'd greatly appreciate it.